Hello, hello. Welcome to my quest for yellow. This is the Sunny Side Up palette, and as you can tell, it's kind of an egg-themed palette. This is from Trigwell Cosmetics, and I believe I saw this on sale, and I got it for $16. I think it was part of my BEAUTYBAY haul, but I thought I would try it. I've never heard of this brand before. But it says on the back, our first eyeshadow palette, the beautiful formula is pigmented and blends seamlessly. I hope you love it as much as I love creating it. Zoe. So I don't know if this is like the brand's first palette, but I absolutely love yellow. And since it was on sale, I thought I would try it. I think I saw this palette in a video, and it was part of some sort of subscription box. But I got mine, I believe, directly from BEAUTYBAY. I'll probably end up putting that information down below. I think it was like $15 or $16, like I said. So when we open it up, we can see that there is a mirror, and the mirror is framed in pink, but the rest of the palette we have here is framed in yellow. So it's not like a super yellow palette. I do love that the background, it's put up against a yellow kind of background to get that theme going. But overall, this feels like a colorful palette for someone who is maybe more into softer makeup or into more neutral makeup. I will say I was quite surprised by Hatchaplan and Chicky, which are, I think, they're the lightest colors in this palette, but they were quite pigmented. I think I was way more impressed with the light yellow than I was with the more mustard yellow in this palette, which I love a mustard yellow. That is the kind of yellow that I like, but I was so surprised by how pigmented these lighter shades are. So the lighter shades are definitely pigmented. The shimmers for me, though, just were not my style. I love a wet, intense kind of shimmer, and for me, these kind of ended up more of it's just like a satin, like a bit of a shimmer, but not really, which is why I think I would recommend this to someone who doesn't wear very intense makeup, because you get some color, but not too much. This is the darkest shimmer in there. So you can see there's like a slight reflection, but it's not super wet or too intense. This champagne one is super light. I think this one was my least favorite just because it was so neutral. But you know, I'm in there trying to get that color out. But I think when I look at the overall looks that I did, I hope this doesn't look scary to anyone, but I really do feel like this is the level of like, I think this is a very, because of the colors in here, that we're looking at a summer and fall palette. And I think someone who doesn't wear makeup very often but wants to occasionally wear a pop of color would enjoy this palette. I think it lasted pretty well. And there's that mustard. I think for me, on my skin tone, I think you can even see it here on camera. This one is so much brighter than this one. And of course, this one has like a white base to it. But I actually preferred this one. I've been going back and forth as to whether or not I want to keep this palette, and for me the problem is like the shimmers. The shimmers just don't really do it for me. If I were to wear this, I would have to pull out a second palette because the shimmers they just don't do it for me. In terms of mattes, I did like the mattes. I don't think I had any issues with the mattes. There wasn't any patchiness. I was able to blend everything very well. So I think if this really is Trigwell Cosmetics' first attempt at a palette, I applaud them. I think this is pretty good. I personally think I'm going to declutter this. I'm going to pass it on to someone else just because, like I said, the shimmers, and there's 2 orange shimmers in here. I don't think there needed to be 2 orange shimmers. Maybe a gold would have been nice. I also don't think we needed a dark shimmer. I don't really particularly like dark shimmers. I like dark mattes, but not really dark shimmers. So I think they could have done more with the shimmers. I do like their matte formula. I thought about keeping this just for the matte formula. In terms of the yellows, I think this is, you know, yellow approved. I think the yellows in here are actually quite nice, and even if you ended up not using the shimmers, which I did do a full matte look, which is very rare for me. I do not like to do full matte looks, but I did do it with this one, and it was actually quite nice. I did quite like it. But this one's going to be a pass for me. However, I do think this palette will be loved by someone who wants a pop of color occasionally and probably does more soft and neutral makeup.